I am here. 14 minutes late. Properly late. How goes things and stuff? Today I'm playing Farm Simulator 25. Wow. Last time, what did I do? I harvested my farm of barley. Came to the conclusion that I would have to feed my chickens all the grain to make a profit, and I wouldn't actually be able to trade any of my barley away. Which was a shame, but also kind of what is what it is. I bought a bigger tractor. I remember that. That was important. I don't exactly know what else happened of note, but I'm sure there was something. Anyway, hi. Sorry I'm properly late. I don't have a reason. This is... just am. Hey, Esmitstil, how you doing? I always misread your name as Esmitstil because my screen is so small. Good job on the first redeem. Well done. Very sought after that one. You doing good? Nice. Good, good, good. Also, hello, Dragon. How you doing? An update available for liftable pallets and bales. I don't even use that one. I should really remove that altogether from my download list. Oh. Oh, interesting. No, sorry. Okay, that scared me for a second. It's fine. Everything's fine. I was just noticing that, the scroll wheel on my mouse was having a hard time. It's fine. This time, I remembered to swap the music over with the stream. Unlike last time, where I was playing for about an hour and a half or 2 hours with no music. In about 3 weeks, I'll forget to do that again. Because it is the way. I got some pickles. Snack on throughout the stream. And, you're never gonna believe this. I forgot to get the garlic and dill ones again. And just got the dill ones. Devastating. Maybe forgot's the wrong word. The text on the jar is really small. So when I go to grab a jar of pickles after I've been in the, on the bus for like 2 hours and then in the store for 45 minutes, and I'm like, oh, I better get some pickles, and I'll just grab a jar that says, pickles, like dill pickles, and then the subtext underneath says dill or garlic and dill. I'll just grab it real quick and then leave. But it's just not noticeable enough to get it right every time. Okay, there's a reason that I left the timer going this day. That job's done. Why did I leave the timer going? Also, where is that job at? Is it here? Okay, whatever that job is doesn't require a vehicle, apparently. It was a cultivation job. 89. Why did I leave? Why did I not pass the day? I gotta do the water. Barley can't be planted yet. Did I not cultivate my fields? Is that the reason? Yeah, I haven't cultivated my fields. I remember I limed them. That's why I haven't passed the day yet. Okay. So where's my cultivator at? I guess I could just use the smaller tractor. Something wrong with farm ambience. Yeah, I guess that's true. It's not like it's an unpleasant game to listen to unless I'm backing up all the time. It's just noises. For once I actually lined up my tools correctly and then didn't realize I had. Also, this was just kind of misleading because I always feel like I need to go to the side without the wheels. Now let's grab some jobs for my employees to perform while I'm doing this. How about that? Or I could have my employees do the farm while I bale and stuff. 'Cause baling's pretty good money. Mowing, we can mow the lawn as well because I have the bigger tractor. We can't do plowing because that takes forever. Could do spraying. I have a sprayer now. It would only profit by like $200 or like, well, it'd be like $700, but still. Alright, let's accept a baling contract for me. I don't have a baler. I do. I did. It was square bales though. Wait, did I own the baler? Or did I rent it because I had a bunch of stuff to bale? I don't remember anyway. I'll have the AI plow my fields while I do that. Well, I kind of feel like I should be the one doing the field plowing since it's my field, but I don't know. Probably fine. I wonder if I can make stream alerts specifically for like streaks. I should do. Little ones. Anyway, hi Bird, how you doing? Good job on the 180 stream streak, thank you. Hello. That's probably going, well, I just started, so it's not yet. But I'm sure it'll go good in the near future. I think this is the same tractor that I have. Well, I don't actually recognize the cat face on it, so maybe not. But again, a lot of the tractors look really similar, you know? It's hard to be certain which ones are which. We got that baling contract there. Will it let me bale multiple locations with the same tractor? What bales? These are square bales. These are round bales, so no, it wouldn't do anyway. These are round bales though, so maybe it would with that one. Suppose I could check? I suspect it won't let me, but I might as well check. Because I have the baler on me. I did this with a different one. And yeah, it didn't let me use it, but I'm not sure if it'll let me use this one. I'll just, if it doesn't work, I'll just abandon the job. It's not a huge deal, but it'd be nice if I could use this tractor for, I guess, if it's the same employee, it would make more sense to do it. Because, like, the plow jobs, I think, work for multiple fields. Maybe. Maybe they don't. I don't remember. It's fine. As long as it's the right kind of bale, I don't see why it would be an issue, other than, of course, I'm just using somebody's equipment for something they didn't want me to do. Which might be a problem, but I mean, who's gonna stop me? Who's gonna snitch? I'm helping people out here, you know? I didn't line it up correctly. It's working. You weren't listening to an opportunity for snitching. Got me in. Can't believe this. Betrayed. In my own chat. I never could have seen this coming. Sorry, I was adjusting some volume settings and couldn't continue my bits of being pretended. There's no way I can combine those words in a reasonable way. Profended? No, because that kind of sounds like I'm okay with being offended, you know? You know, sometimes it's, you know, fine, but, you know, not in this situation, surely. You're okay with me being offended? Oh, alright, well. As long as you're okay with it, I'm sure it's fine. I gotta back up. I missed a bunch of the grass. Lost control. No. Oh yeah, I was considering installing that mod to fix the screens, but I forgot. And by fix the screens, I mean just change the screens to display any useful information. I don't even need, like, that much information. I just mean, like, give me, like, speed and RPMs. Like, that'd be fun. It's weird for a simulator game to not be, like, showing the stats of the vehicle, you know? For sure, even American Truck Simulator pretends to care about, like, temperature and stuff. It is definitely pretend, but it's cool. Having the numbers all listed on the HUD. Hey, Morasix, how you doing? You're not new, but hello regardless. It's a very unfortunate time to, well, whatever, I don't really need to be that thorough here. I just need to finish up the rest of this line here and then drive to the other field. Also, Bert, you're not new, but hello regardless. I think I forgot to greet you, because you got the streak as well. Is it wheat, or what am I farming? Right now I'm not farming anything. I'm picking up, I'm doing a contract for an NPC, or for one of the, like, farm operators that isn't my farm. I'm picking up their straw from their last harvest of wheat or barley. I'm not sure which one it would be. But I was just finishing off their harvest of it. So I wanted to try selling excess straw in things. Not farming in a farming simulator? Oh no. Is that even allowed? I don't know. Is it allowed to be unsubbed from Patat, huh? Actually, Patat's a partner now. They might be able to change their tag to be different. How do I get into the field with the... not the field, the... How do I get into the grain selling place? It's right here, isn't it? Yeah, animal dealer, that's what I wanted to go. Yeah, I'm not sure if she did, but I know that partners can change their tag to be different than their, like, pre-assigned one, so... Maybe she finally changed it to, actually say... Yeah, emo prefix, that's what I was saying, yeah. I kept saying tag, but I meant the prefix, yeah. That's probably the first thing I would do if I became partner, because I don't want to be Crims06 forever. Nothing wrong with being Crims06, but, you know... I feel like it wouldn't have been that hard to give me a better one. How do I empty the bale? I don't know if I can, actually. I never thought about it. I was going to sell all the stuff, but I don't know if I'm allowed to empty it. I guess not. Oh, that's a shame. Can't, like, just dump it out? No, I guess not. Alright, well, whatever. There goes my plan to make a bunch of money. It doesn't make any sense that you can't empty out the baler. Surely you'd want to. Like, you wouldn't want to just leave it in there all season. Come on. Get all, like, moldy or whatever. Need to change it to Crims0666. Yeah, I don't see. Actually, I don't even know what I would change it to, but it would definitely just be something different than Crims06. It'd be something more identifiably like Crimson Moon, you know? I need to take a way earlier. I need to take a left, actually. Dang, alright. Crims07. Well... Yeah, well, don't let anybody... I think I have a sign stuck in my wheel. It's fine. Don't tell anybody. They'll never know. But yeah, maybe that would be the way to do it. Crimzo 7. Crimzo 666. Yeah, it's hard to say. It's a toss-up, you know? But probably... Actually, I don't even know what I would change it to. Because, like, I imagine Crim's taken, Moon's taken. I don't want to have you type out the full Crimson Moon. Could probably maybe fit Crimson in there. It doesn't matter. I'm not going to get partner anyway. Crimbo 6, maybe, yeah. It would take a lot of time and effort to actually make, like, to get partner, so I'm not going to get that, probably. Because I would have to network and raid and market myself. EU effort, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Every once in a while, I do consider marketing myself. Or like making making notes of things in the stream that may have happened to be interesting to like make into like shorts or something, you know? Every once in a while I think about it. But then I'm like, I don't want to I don't want to make thumbnails. That's like one of my biggest problems with making shorts is making the thumbnails. Like I could probably make, I stream every single day. Like there's plenty of like opportunity for stuff. Are there shorts on Twitch too? No. This was like YouTube specific, or like to post on social media to like bring more people in, that kind of thing. There are shorts on Twitch. They're called clips. Although I think they're doing something to change clips. I don't remember what. I just read that they were like making some changes or something, or they might make some changes somehow. You post to other sites. Yay, that's the plan. Like, if I was, like I said, if I'm thinking about it, I'm not planning to do it, but it would be an option if I was looking to like grow as a Twitch channel. Posting to other websites to bring people into the stream would be a big one to do it. And shorts are like the best way to do it because algorithms push the shorts like crazy. But I'm not like, and again, this isn't like to, you know, like rag on myself here. I'm not like particularly funny or whatever. I don't make an effort to be funny. I will occasionally say something funny or be like vaguely entertaining, but for the most part, I just sort of chill and play games and chat, which, you know, might be a market for somebody to like advertise to, but it's not like clip worthy, you know? I don't do very many things that would be like, oh, look at that, it's a clip, woo, you know? I just sort of exist, and occasionally I'll say something that's kind of like vaguely funny, or something unfortunate will happen to me in a video game, that kind of thing. Did I forget to stop over there? I think I did, yeah. Oh well. So yeah, like the biggest gripe with making shorts is I'm not like clippable. Not really. I could find things to happen. Look how I did that turn. Exactly. And I don't like doing thumbnails. And I also don't love editing. I'm okay with editing. I know how to do it, and I'm like pretty decent at it. It just takes a lot of time and effort. And because I stream every single day, it'd be a bit absurd to do my artwork for money. Do a 3, 4, 5 hour Twitch stream and edit down like a VOD into like several like various clips so that I can like turn them into shorts. Like, unless I was actively trying to make like a career out of this, which I'm not doing. I guess I could. I don't think I'd want to though. Maybe I would. It'd be certainly better to like, you know, in this economy, maybe it'd be worth it, honestly. But yeah, I don't know. It's just sort of a toss-up. Like, it's a difficult series of things to put the effort into doing. who'd want to have a career. Well, see, that's kind of the problem, isn't it? Is like, I wanted to stream as a hobby, but my artist career is currently struggling because of who knows why. So it might be an option that I'm going to have to consider after all. But yeah, you know, it's streaming's like, I enjoy it, but it's one of those ones that, like, if I took it seriously and like tried to grow, I would get really frustrated with. Because I'm not going to change my personality. I'm not going to be like, whoa, guys, how you doing? Look at all this farming I'm doing. You know, I'm not gonna play, you know, Roblox or Fortnite or whatever. I mean, that's just me being facetious, I suppose. But you know what? I'm not gonna go out of my way to like play games that are popular just to you know, feed the algorithm or whatever. I'm not gonna be exciting and loud. So it'll be a difficult one to continue growing after, like, maybe even an initial boost would do it, but like, it might be worth trying to put some effort into, just so I can maybe have another income source that is more stable. Kind of crazy to even pretend that Twitch might be more stable than my current career choice, but it might be. Could start with just doing one short a week or something. Yeah, that's what I was thinking, but like, I worry that like if I did one a week, I would have to like go out of my way to pick something like interesting to clip, you know? If I made like a several a week, or like one a day or something, then I feel like it'd be pretty easy to like pick just something interesting that happened. But if I do it like once a week, I'd have to pick something like very interesting that happened out of like all the streams that I did, you know? Otherwise, why bother kind of situation. Okay, cool. 2 contracts done. Now I gotta get to my cultivation field. They seem to have finished up, even though they're not. Oh, I guess they did. Alright. Send the employee to do that while I take another contract. I wanted to do the mowing contract. So I've got a mower, and I've got a big old tractor to do it with. I should be able to do it a little bit faster than used to. But yeah, one short a week might be a good idea, just to like get the gist of it and get the handle on it to see how I like going out of my way to do it. But again, I would have to like keep a notepad nearby like this. I have to keep a pen nearby like this. And I'd have to like make notes midstream about what interesting thing may have occurred that would be worth clipping to like bring to over. And then I'd have to like download the entire video. Like, that's a big one, too, is downloading the entire stream for, like, a 5-second clip or something, you know? How does this one work? Oh, yeah, you gotta connect it and then fold it up, right? It's weird that they have to be unfolded to put down. Isn't Twitch quite stable? It's low, sure, but stable. Yeah, I mean, I make like $50 every 2 months or something from Twitch, which is nice, like, pocket change, but it's not enough to, like, supplement my my current waning career path. It's like, you know, I'm happy to have it, of course, but would very much like more. You can clip it on Twitch and only download the clip. That's true, but I'd have to, like, edit the clip from the Twitch VOD clip, which I guess might work out. But whenever I watch a clip, it's like somebody says something, or something like you know, like, oh, I'll never die, and then cut to them dying like 5 minutes later, kind of thing. I would like, you know, that sort of stuff is the clips that I think are funny. That's not a great example, but you know what I mean. I hope. Whereas it's like, I have to, like, you know, if I slam into a tree and I'm like, well, there's a tree, ho-ho, you know, I could clip that for like 5 seconds, but it wouldn't like be super good. You can clip twice and download 2 clips. I mean, I guess freaking solutions over here. Like, you have ideas for how to make the things I'm suggesting happen. What is this? Can't believe it. People suggesting things that may help in my chat? That's against the rules. Go ban yourself again. But no, I mean, that's probably like a good way to do it. I really should figure something out. Because like I said, I like doing art. It's something I can tolerate and I don't like get impatient with. I don't have a boss for. But it isn't going great at the moment with everything. So I really should diversify my portfolio, if you will. And like I was a very unsuccessful YouTuber for a long time, so surely I could be a successful Twitch streamer if I put the effort in. I just have to stream Greedcore a bunch. Take a look at Backstage. Was that the link for the voice acting stuff you sent me? I did look at it, and it looked like a lot of go out and market yourself to random people who you've never met. And I'm like, that makes sense. I should do that. And then I got uncomfortable. No. Ew, effort. Exactly. It's just really difficult to, like, make effort to do things when I'm trying so hard to do things already. Which I guess is probably the same struggle everybody has, but, you know. I'm already drawing, like, you know, God, I don't know, 10 hours a day or something, 8 to 10 hours a day. Then I stream for 3 to 4 hours, sometimes 5 if I'm feeling like it. Like, I don't have that much time to do something else. Unless I give up doing the thing that makes me money briefly to try and find a way to make more money down the line, but got bills to pay. And even though I'm not making much money, I'm making enough to pay bills, kind of. So it's a difficult one to like put a hold on to try doing something else, you know? I don't really have that much free time. Contain good links for where to look for the jobs themselves. I definitely looked at it. It's been like a couple of weeks, so I can't remember how in-depth I went. But I remember looking at it and being like, dang, that's gonna be tough to get going. Like, I have it saved. It was the second paragraph. I'm not saying that the actual, like, the information you sent was, like, hard to parse. I'm saying that, like, the act of doing it is difficult. And a lot of it was, like, just, like, record audiobooks in your free time and stuff and don't get paid for it. And I have a hard time doing stuff without getting paid. you know? Or like advertise yourself on Fiverr or stuff like that. And I'm like, I could do that, but also, oh, I don't know. I don't want to get contacted by random people to voice act in sort of stuff I like advertisements and things. But like that's probably the only way to like get going and started, right? I also don't have a good resume to apply with. I would just be my voice and nothing else. I've been self-employed for like 12, 15 years, something like that. I don't have any references, so I can't apply for actual jobs. Stream for your originally intended 2 hours and use the other 2 hours for that. I don't want to do that. I'm already always stressed out. This is the only time I don't get stressed out. I guess I'll look at it again. Like, it's saved. I have it bookmarked. I can always check it again. Okay, we have a bailing contract that's pretty decent still. I think the AI finished doing my farm already, though. Could skip the day, but for 2,400 it might, or 2,000 I guess, might be worth doing. The thing is, I want to do the harvest contracts, but they're all like root crops, and root crops are a nightmare to do. Green beans and peas take forever, and root crops are awful. Like, sorghum's, like, good, like, to do, but renting the equipment's so expensive that it's useless if it's not a gigantic field. Because I don't have a combine harvester, because I didn't buy one when I had the opportunity. I have the header, but not the harvester. So I'm gonna always end up losing money on that. Well, not losing money, but paying, like, a lot to the rental. Plowing, I mean, this is a lot of money, but it's a big field. It'll take a long time. I guess I could have the AI do that while I do something else. I could do the spraying ones as well. Those are a little bit of extra money. Okay, let's tell the AI to do this, even though I think it'll take too long. You got the treads on this thing. You don't want to be contacted by random people who want to give you money. Okay, I mean, like, when you say it like that, it sounds weird, considering that's kind of what I do anyway. What is... What is that? Is that my lime rental? Did I rent that for lime and just never return it? I think I did. Alright. Yeah, alright. Pretty sure that was either fertilizer or lime, and I don't remember which one. Alright, AI, I want you to go over here. Bailing. Borrow. Yeah. Gotta drive my tractor back. Gotta take some pleasure time. I mean, like, yeah, it's just like, I imagine if I made more money, I'd have more leisure time. But I'd have to forego my current leisure time to make, you know, it's a spend money to make money situation. Ooh. Usually it's the other way around. I But yeah, no, it's something you know, time invested equals, you know, amount of reward or whatever the thing is. I gotta go out of my way, and then later it'll be easier. But it's difficult to get out of the comfort zone of making barely any money for the potential to make decent amounts of money, you know? Getting a job that would be, like, good from home is, like, easier than ever, but still difficult to me. Mainly just because it's another one of those, you have to go out of your way to do stuff, you know? I guess that just kind of makes me sound lazy, which isn't untrue, but it's difficult to, like, be successful in a career path, then suddenly everything kind of falls through and you're not successful anymore. You know? It's difficult. Okay, where am I going? Can't, that's not what I meant to click. Right, left, okay, we're going up the same path we usually go. So yeah, like, you know, just slowly, like, watching all your sort of efforts crumble away because of some nonsense that has completely out of your control is rough. But I guess, you know, it's another one of those things where you gotta kind of, like, adapt to the situation. And I'm bad at adapting. They should add a DLC where you can tow away a tank. Does that happen often in farms? Just find random tanks in fields. They had like a tank restoration simulator game that I looked at one point and thought was interesting, but I don't know if I don't think I ever went back to look at it again to see if it ever finished advancing. Growing tanks. Yeah, I mean, those exist. A nod to Ukrainian farmers stealing Russian tanks. But we're in Poland. I think I got square bales this time, which are a lot smaller, but I think they can be, like, dropped while I'm still collecting, so they're a bit easier, maybe? Maybe. Yeah, Polish farmers would love to steal Russian tanks, too. Probably, maybe, yeah. Who doesn't want to nick a Russian tank? I mean, true, if I can get a hold of a KV-2... yeah, I'd be happy. Russians, yeah. A lot of Russians would be up for it too, probably. I didn't lower the baler. I started it and then didn't. No, I lowered it but didn't turn it on. Yeah, give me the old KV-2 any day. Maybe the, what is it, T-34M or whatever the hell, with like the like tons of sponsons on it. Looks ridiculous. I don't remember which one it is, but something like that. I think T-34 is an American designation, maybe, but I don't remember which tank it is. I should look it up. I should figure out which tank it is. It's a funny one. It's a funny looking tank. It's definitely not the T-34. That's a German tank. T-34M. Oh, actually, maybe not. Hold on. Oh, no, it was because of the German... No, it was a Soviet tank. I was right. The T-34M is a Soviet tank. It's the wrong tank, though. What is... God, what's the... Is it T-24? That, yeah, I think that is it. Well, no, that one's very silly, but that's not the one I'm looking for. so funny looking. Where is it? Is it the T-35? Okay, you can calm down. You can calm down. Turn off the Baylor. There you go. It might be the T-35. Yeah, that's it. T-35 tank. It's a really silly looking tank because it has so many like turrets on it. I'm trying to find a good picture of it. Put it up on stream. I need to have like a stream specific folder. That'll do. Maybe it's not the best picture, but that one will do. Save images. Max res default. Perfect. That's exactly what I want. No, T-35. That's going to be a really crunchy image. Let me open that in a new tab. Don't worry, this is worth it, I swear. It's not going to be worth it. Don't open a random... Well, actually, that was fine. I wanted to open the image in a new tab, and I clicked on open link in a new tab. Open a random YouTube video. Save image. Look, it's a 5-minute adventure finding an image. Of course, it's blown up. I wonder if there's a way to like shrink it down. There you go. See, it's a. let me just make it smaller. Anyway, there you go. It's got a whole bunch of like turrets all over it. It's very silly. Like half of them can't even like turn because there's just so many of them. The T-800? That's a tank. Oh, it's a Kenworth fuel tank. I see. I get you. Very good. But no, you got the KV-2. Oh my god, the KV-2 is my favorite tank, I think. It's so stupid. I mean, I guess the OI is also pretty good. The OI is a really good tank. I don't know if you've ever seen a KV-2 before, but it is pretty dumb. Where's a good picture? I mean, that one's fine. That one gets the point across. Open image, new tab. I mean, the KV-2 is like a really famous tank. That's a tiny image. The KV-2 is like a really famous tank. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if, like, it's, you know, known. Sure, random Reddit post, why not? Wish people would name their dang pictures. That's a Terminator. The T-800, is it? Well, it's also a Kenworth fuel tank, so take that. KV-2. There you go. There's the KV-2. It's really dumb looking. I like it. There's also the OI, which is a Japanese tank. That has a... If I remember rightly, the OI has like a Japanese naval cannon bolted onto it, like from a battleship that they just put on a tank. And it's really bad. It's really dumb. Yeah, belly button cannon, exactly. This is some pretty cool art of it. It's a model kit of it, I think, but I mean, it looks like it, so it's a good artwork. So I'm gonna just take that real quick and use that one. Oh god, what the hell is this name? OI. There you go. But yeah, then the OI is a really silly one too, because it's just like a gigantic tank with just a naval cannon on it. It's also terrible because it's got fairly thin armor and it's all flat. So it's just really easy to shoot. It's a big target. Yeah. Got a lot going on here. Anyway, that's all. Back to my job as a farmer. And we're looking at tanks from like World War II or one. I think the T-34, T-25, T-38. One of those was a World War I tank. Bingo was his name-o. B-I-N-G-O. It certainly was. I wonder why Bingo's an expression. Also, hello. Yeah, Biggest Dickus, yes. A noble name. Or if I don't have a problem with swearing or saying like silly words on stream. Also, that's a name. There's nothing wrong with a name. Come on now. Surely it's fine. I haven't seen Life of Brian in a long time. It's a good one. I haven't seen any of the Monty Pythons in a long time. I feel like nobody really knows Life of Brian. It was like really popular, but like for some reason when you like talk about Monty Python, everybody knows Holy Grail. Nobody knows Life of Brian. And there's other ones too that I don't know for that matter, so like, you know, definitely one of the best, yeah, really? Well, yeah. Whenever I talk about Monty Python, people know about the Holy Grail, but I guess Life of Brian is just kind of like maybe too generically named or something. I don't know. It's less commonly referenced, but it's still well known. Maybe. One of my this is only somewhat related. One of my favorite video game skins that I've ever seen in a video game, obviously, was Smite. Smite has a skin for Tyr, I think it is. That is just the King Arthur fighting a rabbit. And it's very funny. It's one of the few skins I've ever bought for a game. It's like God King Garen and Tyr King Arthur. I guess I could look it up and show it on stream. Oh, twist my arm, why don't you? No, it's fine. I'll do it. God, all this pressure to find this image that everybody's demanding I find. As if they couldn't, you know, as if it probably hasn't just been looked up anyway. But it's a good image. The reason I got it isn't specifically because of the skin, but it's because of the image. I thought it was really funny. There you go. I just liked it. I was like, damn, that's a funny joke. That's a funny reference. I want that. So I bought that skin. World's greatest farmer just ad killed everyone. Oh no. The ads started when I was looking up stuff, I guess. Can't help it. Yeah, I mean, I guess Life of Brian is known, but I feel like whenever I mention Life of Brian, which isn't that often, I guess, people don't tend to know what I'm talking about. Just 100% of chat. Yeah, but I feel like people, there's a pretty big divide between like people who I speak to like on a regular basis in person and people I talk to on the internet on twitch.tv/Crimson Moon Monday through Monday, every day, 12 a.m. to 4 a.m. Pacific time. Follow me and subscribe. But, you know, I feel there's a pretty big divide between people who are like terminally online, clip it and ship it. There you go. I say terminally online. That makes it sound bad. People who are regularly online is what I meant, and people who are like regularly offline. I find that people I talk to in like day-to-day life in my fairly small town are probably a lot less online than the people who are around Twitch. So finding an old movie like Life of Brian with like younger audiences specifically, who wouldn't have seen it like when it was on VHS, would be pretty difficult. But I guess if they have like Netflix or something, they'd probably be able to find it. Unless they're nerds, they're probably not going to be quoting Monty Python at all. Yeah, I mean, they might. They might just not know it's a Monty Python quote. I mean, I hear people... No, that would have been a funny joke, but I balked at it right at the last second because I didn't want to... It felt like it might have been... It was a funny joke, but I'm not gonna say it because it's vaguely political. But I think you can probably figure out what I was gonna say, just by that phrase alone. All right, that's done. No idea? Damn. Well, that's rough. Gotta be American, I guess. Cultivating. Those are pretty fast. Do I want to do that while I'm waiting for my NPC to finish? Could do. I mean, that's a really small plow, actually. Or is that the one that folds out? I can't tell. If it's the small one that doesn't fold out, it'll take forever. If it's the gigantic one that folds out, it'll be over in no time. Hard to say. They still got 40 or 50% of that field left, so I guess I'll just grab it anyway. I guess I'll just take my plow. It'll save me a lot of money. Not plow, cultivator. Where is my cultivator? Is it still on my medium tractor? Yeah. Anyway, yeah, point is, it's, yeah, nerd things, generally hard to come across in day-to-day life, for the most part. Even though nerd culture is a lot more common now, a lot more accepted, there's still, like, this weird sort of fabricated, like, shame associated with it. I feel like, in, like, modern day, like, with the average person. Because, you know, nerd culture didn't become, like, accepted or popular until, like, mid-2000s. So So anybody who grew up, like, earlier than that was, like, relentlessly bullied all the time for liking things that were kind of weird. Or having interests in things other than sports. Sorry, I was eating a pickle. Anyway, but yeah. To return to a thing I was mentioning very, very briefly. The ads. They play once every hour for 3 minutes at the top of the hour. I have regularly considered just stopping whatever I'm doing, switching screens, and just like waiting for the ads to finish. But I'm also just not sure that that's like... I don't think I do anything interesting enough to do that. Like, you're not really missing anything. Aside from me talking, which you wouldn't see anyway. Consider pausing, but do not. I mean, yeah. Like I said, like... nothing is happening on stream. Like, if I'm playing a game that has, like, a boss fight or something coming up, and I know there's a boss fight coming up, sometimes I'll delay my encounter while I just, like, chat nonsense or fix my build. Stuff like that. But if it's just, like, farming... I don't think I'll see a UFO or some crop circles, you know? I don't really feel like there's probably a need to stop the stream for that. I mean, I could stop talking about interesting things, I suppose, but then all the people, the thousands and thousands of people subscribing to me for my insightful, witty commentary on twitch.tv/crimsonmoon would be, at a loss, because I would just be doing nothing while the ads are playing, so they wouldn't be getting anything from paying the subscription fee. And not to mention, like, people with Twitch Prime. Be good if you got movement yourself every hour and encourage the audience to wander off during ad time. I mean, that's true, too. There was, like, a good week there where I was trying... I mean, Turbo, yeah. Sorry. There was... I meant Twitch... I meant Twitch Turbo, not Prime. Prime... You can also use your Prime to sub to me if you want. I don't care. I'm not gonna say anything. Yeah, I meant Turbo. Sorry. But yeah, there was a good week there where I was, like, getting up at every hour on the hour, but I just kind of found it annoying. Like, I got, like, irritated doing it. It's a good thing to do, get up and stretch every hour, but it was just felt really frustrating to keep getting up every hour to do a little stretch, then to, walk around for another minute and a half, or 2 minutes, however long, and then just, like, sit back down for another, 55 minutes or whatever, to then get up and do it again. It just frustrated me. It's kind of it's a little like when I'm told to drink water. I know this is going to prompt the water redeem. It's a little like when you drink water and then you immediately get prompted to drink water again. Bert. It's like funny, and I appreciate being reminded to drink water. That's great, thank you. But when I drink water to then immediately drink water again, it's frustrating every time. In a funny way, but still frustrating. And I do want to take a drink of water, so I'm going to have to take a drink of water, and then immediately after I take a drink of water, it's going to get redeemed, and I'm going to have to drink again. Or it's not, you know? Sometimes there's surprises in chat. We love to see it. Crimson hates heart health. It's true. How'd you know? Damn. It's always Bert usually, so I called Bert out, but I suppose you do it too sometimes. Although, ever since I've extended the 5-minute timer on the hydrate, you redeem it an awful lot less. Okay, I think I can start probably going just up and down now. But no, I like, you know, it's important to get up and stretch and walk around and stuff. It's just, like, really annoying. I hate just having to get up to do nothing. Gradually cracking down on all the drown opportunities. Yeah, I don't know when I'm going to get that thing done. Like I said, it just takes a lot of time and effort. It was a funny joke to have the redeem, and I had a plan to like, have something for it. But I just don't have the time to do it. Maybe one day. I found a soup brand I really like in the shop, but they didn't have the miso kind. It's a Sapporo Ichiban, I think it's called. It's just like some ramen, it's instant ramen. But I love their miso flavor, and I couldn't find their miso flavor, and I'm super sad about it. Because they haven't, like, stocked that brand in, I don't know, like a year. And finally I saw some, and I'm like, ooh, great. And they didn't have any miso. Also, the brand that made the really good horchata put on some, like, mango flavored drink, and I really wanted to buy it, but it was just a little bit outside of my spending limit because I was buying some extra stuff already. And I was so sad to not get a hold of that mango flavored drink. I hope it's there when I go back. I should have grabbed a big tractor for this. This little tiny hill is really causing me a lot of problems with a smaller tractor. Downside to snacking on pickles midstream is it's probably best to mute myself while I crunch them down. But they take a little long to eat, which means I have to just be silent the entire time I'm crunching them. And, you know, silence is bad for a stream. Sometimes I just don't have anything to say. Or I'm chowing down on some pickles. Or, you know, sometimes I get crazy and go for a carrot. I really want to get a bigger cultivator at some point. Just for these jobs, not for my own farm or anything. That field really needs to be plowed sooner than it is. Alright, nice. It's gonna be a while before it finishes up. Even yet. I guess I could load some more, like, vegetables onto the truck. I did sell a bunch of them. Oh, I could do some runs of water, I guess. That's something I've been putting off, just because it takes a lot of trips back and forth. If I just do it once, like, an in-game month, it wouldn't get to a point where it was tedious. It would just be like, I'll run, like, 1 or 2 runs. But if I put it off for too long, it becomes, like, 8 or 9. Not that I don't enjoy the monotony of driving the exact same path 15 or 16 times in a row. You know, back there and back and forth, you know. But it's a bit much occasionally, especially if you do it every stream. You love tedious work. Yeah, but I also like I like tedious work, not like repetitive work, which I guess is kind of synonymous. But I don't know how to explain it. There's no variety in driving the water tank. Like, I like doing the farming fields and stuff, but I do different fields. I like picking up the different jobs and doing them, but I don't like driving the exact same path back and forth, back and forth, back and forth over and over again. With no, like, I guess I could just fly off in a different direction and take a little bit of extra time, but, you know. Don't wanna. But I do love tedious work. It's true. Just the wrong kind of tedious. Where's my mower at? Did I forget to detach it? Or did I detach it over on the other side? Is it on my tractor still? Where'd I put my mower? Did I detach it in the field by accident? I sure did. I lost my mower. I did, yeah. Well, I guess I just detached it for some reason. The only time I do that is when I assume it's like belonging to a different company or something. I'll detach it like randomly when I finish a job. But I guess I just didn't think about it this time and detached it because I finished the job I was working on, even though it was my mower. It's fine. It was a free mower. I'm sure they wouldn't have reported it and they would have stolen it and used it for themselves. I should check on the chickens. They probably have enough food. I do have a lot of grain ready to feed them with. Although I don't have a bucket to feed them with. I have a lot of grain to feed them with, but I can't feed them because I don't have a container. Oh man, that moon's texture is bad. Yeah, I sold like half of my vegetables or whatever. Chickens. Red light, ugh. It's really ominous. 4,800 food, that's enough for now. Hey, chickens, how you doing? Don't body shame other moons. Well, it's just very pixelated is all. For a simulator game that has pretty decent graphics, the moon is very low resolution. I don't know. It wasn't shaming as such. It was, you know, encouraging. You know, I think you could do better. Have you tried turning on, like, anti-aliasing, is what I'm saying. Maybe, like, you know, smooth out those edges a bit. Toxic positivity? No, I don't know if that was toxically positive. It wasn't even really positive. It was unsolicited advice for an inanimate object in the skybox. Gotta turn off the damn lights. Come on. Just gotta save our power here. Why did I grab this? Oh, water tank. Now look, if the moon had, you know, if that moon had a personality, and you know, wasn't inanimate, I'd be a lot more kind to it. But because it can't refuse my lovely advice about anti-aliasing and or edge smoothing and perhaps even added glow, you gotta suggest it, you know? Why? Oh, it's already full. It's already full. Why did I fill it up? Hey, no, it isn't. Well, I mean, just look at it. Does it look like a intelligent moon to you? With a personality? Hmm? It doesn't even have a face or eyebrows. Yes. Well, maybe we should get some big old eyebrows to express. Don't think you can judge someone's intelligence by looking at them. What? Where was the emphasis in that sentence? Because depending on where the emphasis was, I might be offended. Anyway, it's fine. It's a skybox. You never look at it. It just feels strange whenever you see something like birds. Like some games have like birds that are just like 2D images in the skybox or whatever. And it's always really strange when you have like photorealistic graphics. A lot like this game doesn't, but you know what I mean. Like a game with photorealistic graphics that has 2D birds in the sky is just very odd and like a bit jarring. So, you know, a simulator game that has, like, you know, just, like, pretty decent graphics to have, like, the, you know, like, 480p moon in the sky. It just feels weird. I guess the stars aren't much better. Like, the entire skybox is pretty low res, I guess, technically. You can't really tell when it's daytime, though. What's a good game with this good? What's a game with a good skybox? I can't remember any games off the top of my head that have like. That's not true. I don't remember what they called, but there's like one game that I remember that has like an incredible skybox that just like looks really, really pretty in high resolution when you look up. Valheim, that might be the one, yeah. With the gigantic Yggdrasil in the sky. It's not high res, you're right, but that might be one of the ones I was thinking of. It's also got all like it's just nice. Maybe Oblivion. Oblivion had a pretty decent skybox, I feel like. Has like the 2 moons or whatever, right? Adding a second moon to any skybox is pretty good. Oblivion was an incredibly beautiful game overall for the time. Very true. I remember, because I only played it, or maybe I've watched my friend play it back in the day. I don't remember. Now that I've played it, I can't remember. But I remember like really liking the art style of the game and always enjoying the look of it, and always thinking it looked beautiful. And I hate the remaster's look. It looks too like that fake realism that a lot of games are going for in Unreal. Like the games just don't feel like they have any art direction, you know. Like I don't like the Unreal like default like appearance. But the original Oblivion like looks very painterly. Like everything was like done with like vibrance in mind. And I thought that was great. And I love even back in the day when like the first time I ever saw it, I was like, whoa. And like another game like Fable is a good one that like has that same sort of vibe where everything's just like made to feel like fantasy, you know? Like really beautifully bright and colorful. I think it does a really good job. Oblivion. And the old version held up pretty well. Like I genuinely had a great time, and I didn't really mind the graphics. The animations were a bit silly, but mostly it was just, like everything looked great. And I played that, you know, like last year. Even if it's like a little older as a game, it's still like fantastic looking. I mean, I guess there's not that much of an improvement we can put into games now. Like, we have photorealism now in video gaming, so now it's all about, like, art direction instead of, like, graphics. But maybe in 10 years I'll be like, man, these games look like trash. Can you imagine I once thought these looked realistic? Like, I remember, like, playing N64 thinking, like, there's no way video games will ever look better than this. And I remember playing, like, PlayStation 1 or 2 or whatever and be like, no, the games will never look better than this. And PlayStation 3, I'm like, whoa, it's like real life. And I'm like, you know, every generation of consoles up to, like, PS5, I guess, PS4, were, like, you know, the best I'd ever seen. And now it's like, now every time they show a new game, they're like, look at the photorealistic graphics. And I'm like, it looks kind of the same as it did 10 years ago, you know? Like, I mean, that guy has some more pores than usual, but has he tried, like, a new skincare routine? Like, that might not be graphics. That might just be bad skin. Try some exfoliation, you know? People are calling video games photorealistic for like 20 years now. Well, yeah, but that's just it, though. It's like they were at the time, because they just always have been. I remember the first time I ever saw, what is it, Resistance: Fall of Man, I think it was, for a PS3. I remember the first time I ever saw that game, I'm like, holy crap, this is insane. Like, I'm like genuinely baffled at how incredible that game looked when I first saw it on my friend's PS3. And then I looked at it like pretty recently, and I'm like, it's not bad, but like it's pretty janky. You'd take someone's feet being anchored to the ground when they walk, over being able to see pores. Yeah, I mean, like, some games I'm okay with them sort of floating gently off the ground, because, you know, you don't want them to clip, and you want to make sure they, like, you know, move their legs properly. But, like, yeah, like, actually having them walk, kind of nice. IRL pores exist, it's fine. Makeup seems like a lot of work. Yeah. But, you know, if you get, like, some good, like, showering techniques in, you can like, you know, the pores can shrink quite a bit. Get a lot less visible. Not that they're, like, a problem, but sometimes you want them to be, like, a little bit less of a obvious thing, I guess. I don't know. Maybe you don't. I don't care. It's just a thing. The thing is, like, a lot of times it's like big open pores is like one of the things that like realistic games do, and there's like a lot of people don't have like open pores, not to that extent. And like saying that's realism is like you just put a bunch of dots on their face, because like that adds texture that they didn't otherwise have, and texture means higher fidelity. You know? But it's just like it's like a fake way to increase the fidelity of something that is unnecessary, or, you know, in an easy way. Oh, I gotta finish that job. Having characters interact with a hand on someone's shoulder, and it's hover handing the whole time because you have two entities with realistic collision physics is hard. Yeah, I mean, like, I've always gotten really annoyed, especially in, like, modern time, where a video game developer will make, like, outfit systems in their game, but not model the outfits to, like, interact with the rest of the outfit. And, like, I'm sure this is very difficult, so I guess I can't complain that much, but with specifically outfit sets and the inability to, like, change a character's, like, size, I feel like it's super frustrating when clothing and armor, like, clips into itself, when you could just, like, make it not do that. Like, they add it, like, as a like a movable mesh or whatever, instead of just, like, moving the armor as it realistically would, or limiting the character movements to not, like, stretch the armor, that kind of thing. Like, that really bothers me. And it's like, again, like, especially if, like, you have, like, a character who can't change their armor even. Like, there's one set of armor or clothing in the game, and this character just, like, moves a little bit and their clothes just clip through everything, and I'm like, this is why you could just model the clothes to not clip. Like, there's only one outfit. What are you doing? Like, I get it, like, it's a, you know, it's a pain, but your game looks beautiful, and now like I'm being torn out of the game's reality because my character's sleeve is being cut off, like, or their wrist is being cut off by their sleeve, you know? Or, like, their I don't know, pants are, like, clipping through their, like, leg or something. I don't know, boots or whatever. But you get what I'm saying, though. Like, I'm not, like, alone in this, obviously, but it's just, like, a weird thing that really irks me. Especially with modern gaming, I feel like that's like a pretty important part of like immersion, is having your clothes not flip around or clip or whatever. This is the one with the giant meteor crater pores. Oh yeah, the open pores, yeah. And hover handing for sure is annoying. Like when you're like trying to have like an emotional moment and they just don't like actually touch their like person they're talking to or whatever. They put all the effort into the pretty textures. Yeah, modern games suck. Yeah, and it's like, I'm sure it's an engine thing, like a lot of the time. Like, certain engines just don't handle like collision or are harder to like model to like fit specific motions. Like, I don't know. This effort, yeah. The reason is games and focusing on the stuff that can look cool in a trailer. I mean, that's probably true too. But like a lot of times trailers are like lies, right? Like there's like famously there was like, what is it, Watch Dogs or something like that? I don't remember which game it was. Sleeping Dogs? It was one of those games. I don't remember which one. But like it had an incredible trailer that everybody was like really hype and excited about, and it looked great. But then you get into the game and it's like the graphics are completely different because they had had a rendered cutscene that was like way higher graphics than could possibly be put into the game to run smoothly. So they like cut off this gigantic section of the game and like had this very small like area that they were rendering at any given moment so that it could run really smoothly in like super high quality. And then they just like, that just wasn't possible in the game. Wasn't the same with The Division? It might have been. I don't know. I'm sure this has happened lots of times. But I remember like getting a lot of backlash because like people would go to the exact location with the highest graphic settings and it was like way worse looking. Pretty much whatever Ubisoft game did at the time. Yeah. Yeah, maybe. I mean, again, like I'm sure, like I'm not saying game development's easy or anything, don't get me wrong. It's just that I feel like there's a lot of things that could be done to improve it that I feel like wouldn't be that difficult, but maybe just engine limitations or time constraints. And I also just feel like you shouldn't lie on your promos. That's probably a big one too, you know? Ubisoft is by a large margin the most disliked publisher. Oh, for sure. I mean, EA is pretty bad. EA got bought out, though? Did it? I was not aware of this. When did that happen? I gotta plant barley this month. Cultivating. 3,000 is a good amount of money for a cultivation job. 7 grand for a plow job, though. Yikes. That sounds like something I gotta do. It's the start of the month, so... It'll be a while before I end the month. Plus I gotta plant all my stuff and fertilize it and things, so... It'll definitely take a while, so I maybe possibly could do this before I finish up the day's work. Okay, let's see. This is 88. Get down there and do your business. Then I will start planting. I do have a planter, don't I? I have this one. I'm not sure this is the right one, though. I think this planter doesn't do barley. It's also backwards. Blocked by an object. That's not true. You're not blocked by an object. You're probably blocked by a random car that decided not to get out of the way. Oh, you ran into a pole. That's not my fault. You're also not blocked by an object. You're an AI. How'd this happen? I mean, oh, never mind. That's a silly question. I think it answers itself, honestly. Yeah, anyway, I don't think this cedar can do. Nope. Okay, the cedar cannot do the things. That was a really expensive cedar too. To not even use it. What is it I was looking for? Oh, the market. Well, we can get a roller. That's probably worth doing. It's pretty cheap. We'll need to rent a cedar. Okay, we need barley. It doesn't really matter which one, I guess. What's the spread? 3 meters, 4.6, 4. Yeah, it's not like a huge difference, really. This one will be fine. It does. This one does. These ones do fertilizer as well, but it's solid fertilizer. I don't know if I have solid fertilizer. Also, I have my liquid sprayer anyway. All right, go ahead and just lease that out for $2,000. Sure. You don't even remember when the last time you bought a AAA game was? You think all your recent ones are indie games? Yeah, I think I've definitely bought a AAA game pretty recently, but I can't remember what it was. Does Cyberpunk still count as indie? If not, then you guess you remember when the last time was? I don't think Cyberpunk's indie anymore. I think CD Projekt Red has been a big enough successful company and hired on enough people that I don't think you could consider them indie at this point. But maybe they are. I mean, they own good old games as well. Like, they're not like a small company. I mean, maybe comparatively they might be, but I don't think they're really independent at this stage. I don't think that it's... I think it's... I don't know, maybe you could say they are, I don't know. I'm not really sure what the requirements are for being considered an indie game or developer. But CD Projekt Red has been pretty big since, like, The Witcher 2. Okay. You also heard that some games don't count as indie games if they aren't developers' first game? Is that true? Someone's mixing up indie and debut. Yeah, I think that's correct. That's a weird definition. There are definitely a lot of small developers that make multiple tiny games that definitely still indie. Yeah, true. That's why Megabonk was not qualified for the indie award. Oh no, Megabonk was. It's that the guy didn't want to accept the award because it was specifically the best debut. And they'd made games previously under a different account name. Like, that was the developer's choice to not accept the reward. he thought it wouldn't be fair since he's made games before. Yeah, I freaking love Megabonk. That game's great. I meant to do this one. I don't know why he made a different name. I think he just didn't want to be associated with his last game, which was like... Or last games, for whatever reason. Which is fine. That's what I do with my art. I don't know, I have a different name for my art, just because I don't want to be associated with the account. But this is a very small... I did not realize how small this cedar was. Retract the statement. Yeah, that's right. But no, yeah, it's weird. It's hard. I guess I don't really understand what is and isn't indie anymore. Just because like there are definitely like indie games like that are very small, whatever. That but a lot of them have like the backing of bigger companies too. But they're not like published by the companies often. So it's hard to say. Every time you refer to this attachment, you hear cedar. Like the wood. Which makes sense because they're pronounced identically. But you're disappointed every time it's not a tree. Yeah. Sorry. Yeah, no, I'm referring to the cedar, not the cedar. The object which seeds my crops, not the tree which smells good. Homonyms be lauded lovingly. Yeah. Yeah. There was, I don't know, I don't remember this channel or whatever, but there's like this Japanese channel where they'll like go over... I don't even know they're Japanese. They just speak Japanese a lot on it. But I keep getting shorts from them where one of them will ask, like, how do you pronounce a word in Japanese? And they'll, like, pronounce it. The other one is a host. And then they'll be like, how do you say this sentence or phrase? And then they'll pronounce it. And it sounds a lot like the first word they used. You know which one you mean? Yeah, it's really funny. And it's like, they'll go in like, okay, how do you say this very long thing? And like, they say, like, how do you say, something, 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 something. Anyway, and it just ends up, like, the entire phrase in Japanese is like the exact same word with different intonations over and over again. And it's really funny. And I wish I could remember what the name of the channel was, or any of the sentences they get as an example, but I can't remember any of them. But it's really funny, and would recommend finding random channel that I'm talking about if you can. I haven't watched anything other than their shorts. I don't know what they're about, but I remember their shorts being fun. Also not they branched out too much, but Good Old Games got emancipated from CD Projekt Red? Really? When did that happen? Was it like a monopoly thing? Or was it just like too divested from their initial, I don't know, like mission statement or something? I don't know. What caused them to like get rid of it or lose it? Hope they would put more effort into making a proper mobile app on their store. You don't know, it was a legal clause? Oh, interesting. Okay. Well, strange. I guess I'll have to retract my statement from earlier then. I thought CD Projekt Red owned a good old game still. You think they just thought Good Old Games is growing too big to be still part of the developer company? That might be it. That would make some sense. Nothing changed to the same people, just not legally attached. Oh, okay. I absolutely regret using this little tiny cedar machine for this farm. It's a very small farm too, which, you know, makes it worse. It's just a lot of effort for all this effort, or all this, like, this tiny field, whatever. Is there, like, a bigger one that I could have rented? I mean, I'm not going to now, it'd be a waste, but... This was, like, up to 4, that was up to 5. That one's 6, 8, 9, 12, oof. Yeah, there's definitely larger ones. Tiny cedar, yeah. It's also in Poland, so we're never going to space. I mean, as somebody who lives in space, you know, it's not all that. There's a whole lot of void. Not a whole lot else, you know. Isn't cedar a good wood for smoking whiskey? Is it? I don't know. I don't drink whiskey. I don't drink anything. Not even water. I'm a moon. Don't smoke. Neither drink nor smoke whiskey. Don't smoke whiskey. Yeah. Does it hardly matter what sort of wood you use? Just has to be the right age. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, like, I'm sure it makes a difference, because, like, different wood smells different when, like, burned. So I imagine that the flavor changes in the whiskey depending on what you use to, like, smoke it, but I wouldn't actually know what the differences would be. And to what extent they, like, matter, you know? But I'm sure it makes some difference. Maybe if you're, like, a real whiskey connoisseur, you'll know. Be able to tell the differences. I don't know why I even did the header here. With the AI, it makes sense, because they're not smart. But with me, I can literally just, like, link up to this line here, lower this thing earlier, and just go straight ahead. And it'll be, like, the entire line without even using the head. You prefer whiskey to whiskey? And that's mostly down to being a pedant. The spelling to whiskey? I've always seen whiskey with an E, I think. I've never seen it with a Y. I'm pretty sure. When I think of the word whiskey, I think of it having an E. Whiskey is, with an E, is Irish and American. Whiskey with a Y without an E is Scottish. Okay. I mean, a lot of, like, America has a lot of, or had in the past, a lot of Irish immigrants. So it makes, well, we've had a lot of all immigrants at one point. So it makes sense we have, like, Irish pronunciation for it. Or Irish spelling, whatever. You thought it was the opposite? It might, I don't know. I don't know enough about it to confirm or deny. The amount of time it's taking, it might be worth renting the giant one. I guess I'm not really doing anything else, it's just I have an entire other field to do. It's slightly larger than this one. This one's like half done. I think this is the song that reminds me of Outer Wilds. Just with its, like, sort of notes, its single notes being played. Oh, watch out! It's so funny that I could just like I could have just rented the slightly more expensive one. I don't even know how much more it would be. Let me go check how much it would be to rent the bigger one. Like not even like the giant one, just like the slightly bigger one, like the 6, the 12, the whatever. 8, 9, 12, okay, so 165. That's not that expensive. It's quite, but not that expensive. How much does it cost to lease this? 8,000. It would have cost a lot more, never mind. It's probably not worth it. This takes a while, but this was 2,000. I don't want to spend 4 times the amount to get like a faster planter on such a small field. But 3 meters might not be enough. I could probably get a bigger one. Still. Because this is like 4 right here. 4.6 for 49 grand. Like that might just be like a little bit easier, a little bit faster. For the same price too, just about. So I'm gonna end up like wasting 2,000, but it would save me like 2 or 3 passes on the next field. But it does mean I would have lost 4,000 monies. If I grabbed it. I guess realistically I could just make my AI do this planting. But I kind of feel weird. I'd kind of like to I kind of like to do my own planting for my own fields. I mean, eventually that'll get a little bit like absurd. Like if I buy enough big fields. But I could also be making like a lot of extra cash doing like jobs for the AI right now, like the NPCs. Speaking of cedar and cedar, in our Danish word for seed and frog, seed and frog are exact homonyms. That's kind of fun. So what happens if there's a frog like nesting in a cedar log? Is that a confusing phrase to say? Do frogs nest? I've had frogs in the past. I don't know if I'd consider them nesting. cedar isn't called cedar there. Well, yeah, I mean, it would definitely be called something different, I understand, but if it's the same word, then... or similar sounding. Like, I imagine that it wouldn't be the English word for cedar if you're not from America or England. Or various other places that speak English. I'm gonna go waste some money and rent the slightly larger one. This is gonna take such a long time if I don't. It'll probably still take a long time even if I do, but... give me the slightly larger one. I'm all about wasting money, you know? Like, it's not going to be that much faster, but it will be faster. And it rents for about the same price. I should have just grabbed it immediately instead. I just could have checked. I went for the cheapest one because I was like, that'll save me the most money. And then I realized now that that was a mistake because it's awful. Cedar is spelled the same way. It's just pronounced the same way as you say seats. Seder? I don't know how to actually pronounce that. I'm assuming Seder, but that's just because that's how I would pronounce that, seeing it. Make sure I get that little edge. There you go. I wonder why it's so slow. I guess just because it needs to be a certain speed to plant the plants. I was thinking a better tractor would be faster, but it looks like it's not going to make a difference. What was the thing I wanted to buy? It was like 24 grand. It was a roller, I think. So I think you need to roll the crops once they've been planted. Yeah, you do. I'm not even sure you need to roll the crops as much as you just should, you know? Like, it'll still probably, like, take root. I just imagine it'll be better if it gets rolled. I'll have to make an effort to look at the planted zone here. That way I don't miss anything while I'm doing this, because I am making weird turns while I'm lining it up. Pretty immaculate enunciation of A. Or Aid, Seder. Bravo. Thank you. I pronounce words sometimes. And occasionally I'm right. I always have a hard time with AE, though. Because, like, I feel like, depending on where the word comes from, it's pronounced differently. Like, I've always pronounced, like Aegis. Like, you know, A-E-G-I-S. I pronounce it Aegis, not Aegis. But Aegis, probably, depending on where you're from, is the way you'd pronounce it. But is that the correct way to pronounce it? Or is it like, because it's like Roman or like Greek origin, Roman origin? I don't know. Latin? Is it Latin origin? I don't know how to pronounce it anyway, is what I'm saying. But I've always pronounced it Aegis, because one time in a game, they pronounced it Aegis, and I was like, oh, that must be right. But I guess, like, it's the same thing with, like, Oblivion. In Oblivion, they pronounce Daedra or Deidre, depending on who's reading the line, and nobody seems to care what the actual pronunciation is. So I was calling them Deidre for a long time. I think I even, up until I, like, beat the game, I was calling them Deidre. Just because that's how I read the pronunciation. As if it was, you know, Latin or whatever. I don't even know if Latin's the right one. I'm just saying that. Probably isn't. It's probably a different one. Deirdre, yeah. Old Deirdre. You know, demon to worship, Deirdre. The god of knitting and apple pies. English also used demon in Old Anglo-Saxon, so the character has been in use back when, or like daemon, or demon, I don't know. Again, that's the same issue. It's like I pronounce that demon because of Aegis, but if I use it with the pronunciation for like seats that you just had, it would be daemon. Like satyr. Daemon. But I'd say that was demon, just because Aegis is spelled the same. Or like ether. Although I think ether I pronounce aether, and I don't know why. we say daemon. Presumably, I don't know the check mark inflection. Why? Oh, there we go. It wasn't taking a while to update. The difficulty in reading text from a language I don't speak is that I have no idea if I'm reading it correctly or pronouncing it correctly. I don't want to use the guidelines too often, but they're just so convenient, I can't help it. It's probably closer to Daemon. I don't Daemon. But Danish schools and their curriculum are pretty abhorrent in utilizing diacritics. I think is the O with the line over it like a long O sound, or is the two dots the long O sound? Or is it O? Like, is it O or is it oo? Is two dots oo? I don't remember. I don't remember how. It's been so long since I've taken like a language class that I genuinely can't remember what the what the symbols mean. Like, I know what an Enya is. Like, that's like the only one I recognize as a way to pronounce something. But, and like I know like the sa, like the little C underneath of a French letter. Every school should have a class dedicated to the IPAs. I mean, this is yeah, the Enya. Like that's the Enya, yeah. But like it's something you would have learned in America in like grade school, like in like kindergarten, how to pronounce like those things. It would have been such a long time ago that there's no way I could possibly remember it, you know? Didn't know the word for it. I don't know if Enya is the correct word for it, but that's what it's called. I don't know if that's what it is supposed to be called, but that's what every single person that speaks Spanish I know calls it, the Enya. Never had Spanish or Portuguese in school, though? Yeah. One of the funny things I like about Spanish is they have the Enya, which is, I mean, I guess this is like obvious, but it's funny still to me specifically. They have the Enya, and so, but they don't always use it, obviously. So a lot of people will like mess up the word habanero, like pepper, because they assume it's pronounced like jalapeno, right? But it's not. Like, it's jalapeno versus like habanero. Habanero. But the jalapeno has an Enya. How dare you? Wait, no, they're both like... I mean, I guess like the habanero is not Spanish exactly, but still, my point stands. Like they both have like N's in the middle of them, and it's really like commonly people will call them habaneros when they pronounce habanero. I just think that's funny. I forgot to return that thing. 2 dots can mean different things. It can mean that it's part of another syllable instead of merged with the previous letter, like naive. Or it's an entire different letter, like the German umlauts. You still get hyped about a game if they feature Iberian Portuguese? I like Happy New Anus? What is that in reference to? Oh, Happy New... like jalapenos. I see, okay. I get it. Probably among the only score of people who care about that. Didn't know how jalapeno was pronounced for the longest time. Still don't, for the most part. I mean, as long as you're not pronouncing it like jalapeno, it's probably fine. A lot of Southerners who refuse to pronounce Spanish words with a Spanish inflection will call jalapenos jalapenos, which sounds crazy, but it's true. And it sounds ridiculous. Feliz Año Nuevo versus Feliz Ano Nuevo. Yeah. Also, a lot of, like, Spanish specifically doesn't, like, fully pronounce words like Nuevo. Feliz. Like, a lot of times Feliz is, like, just barely, like, very softly pronounced in the point where you don't even hear the Z at the end. Feliz Navidad, you know, that kind of thing. Feliz Año Nuevo. Feliz Año Nuevo. Versus Feliz Año Nuevo. Yeah, it's just weird. Like, I mean, you know, it's, if you don't put the inflection in, it won't sound right, but, I mean, you'll probably be understood. Año means anus. Okay, I don't care. Like, I was just pronouncing it the way you wrote it. Was it meant to be like a gotcha? You're explaining your comment before. Oh, happy new anus. Oh. Really? I don't... Okay. Happy new anus. Jalapeno. Oh, año, right. Okay, I got you. Año. Año versus año. What do I want to do here? I don't really want to do weeding contracts. Cultivating's fine. It does take a while because I have such a small cultivator. They pay a lot, but I need to return these before they charge me. They pay a lot, but I don't have a good, like, cultivator, so I'd have to use theirs, so I'd lose 600 bucks on it. I do have the ability to spray. I could do this for an extra 1,000. This is peas. That takes forever. Even though it's a lot of money, it takes a long time. I don't want to do that. I'm not doing any root crops. Yeah. I guess I'll just take this and borrow. Because I don't have a big enough cultivator to make it worth doing. Anno year in Latin. It comes from Anno, does it? Maybe. It's also a pretty good video game series. We're back to Ubisoft again. I remember really liking the Anno game that I played. Or Anno. But I don't know how it's pronounced. That's one of the ones I actually don't know how to pronounce. I always pronounce it Anno. But I played one of the Anno games. I'm not sure which one. And I really enjoyed it. And I've never since played an Anno game after the one that I did play, even though I really liked it. Run field 32, okay. Ubisoft is crap. The German devs are good. I wouldn't know. I don't really look into it. There's very few Ubisoft games I've actually enjoyed, or Ubisoft, whatever. Very few games I've enjoyed, especially in recent years. I mean, like, occasionally I'll be, like, blindsided by one, and I'm like, oh, wow, I didn't realize that was them. Kind of like how, I don't know if this is Ubisoft, but I'm gonna say it anyway. So, like, you know, Dead Island was, like, a really, like, marketed game, but people didn't end up liking it very much. But the devs, like, made the other game, the other zombie game, that, like, was really well received. But I didn't know they were the same developer at all. Like the... what's it called? I think somebody mentioned it on my stream not even that long ago. It's the... They had a sequel pretty recently. I don't remember what it's called. It's another zombie game anyway. Dying Light. That might have been it. Oh, this is tiny. I thought this was bigger. I thought this was a bigger one. Oh, crap. All right. Well, fine. Anyway, the same devs made the game. The same. I'm pretty sure. I guess don't quote me on this because I'm not 100%. I've just been told by a friend. But I'm pretty sure that the people who made Dead Island made Dying Light as well. And those are very different games with a similar concept. And one was like well marketed but poorly received, and one of them was like really well received, even though they're like the same concept, kind of. In that they're zombie survival games. Don't quote me on it, I said. I'm gonna just drive over this field. It's empty. That's what she said. Oh no. Touches the yoke of being a dev under a vast publisher. Yeah, I think you're right though. Yeah, but it's like similar in like mechanics, like in that it has like crafting, throwing, like skills. But like for some reason, Dead Island was just kind of like really underwhelming to people. And then Dying Light was like really popular. And I have no idea why. Maybe it's like the addition of like the story or something. Maybe Dead Island didn't have a story. I never got a chance to play Dead Island. I bought it when it was like released, but my laptop couldn't play it. And by the time I had a better laptop to play it, my friends all stopped playing it. And I never got a chance to try it. Story and parkour. That's probably it too. Yeah, the parkour is a big one. I remember that was like one of their biggest selling points, was you could parkour around the place. Worked really well, yeah. It occasionally happens that publishers purchase the development studio behind renowned franchises, fire the lead developers, and the game then undergoes a complete transformation away from its original conception. Yeah, that's happened a lot recently, unfortunately. Dead Island was just a regular zombie shooter in a tropical setting, you think? I don't know, I never played it. I think you played the first one, but it's so long ago you barely remember anything at all. Yeah, like I said, it looked really good, but I never got a chance to play it, and by the time I had a computer laptop good enough to play the game, all my friends had already played it without me, so I never got a chance to play it. But they did make a sequel, even though it wasn't very successful. So I don't know. Maybe it sold really well, and people were just mad about it, so they still made enough money off of it to make a sequel, even though it wasn't well received. I don't know if the sequel was any better. But I know that people loved Dying Light, so clearly the developers knew either they either took what they learned and made a better game, or they just made a different game with a similar concept. Like maybe like Dying Light is like serious and Dead Island's like silly. Damn it, I lit burnt, for God's sake. I just talked about this earlier. I wonder what the benefit of a longer cultivator is. I mean, there probably is one. I don't know what it would be. I have mentioned this one before, but speaking of zombie games, my friend a long time ago bought me a zombie game that was in VR because they were playing it and it was a lot of fun. But they failed to, like, mention that one of the characters in the game was, like... I mean, I guess I don't know this for sure, but it really felt like it. It was designed purely to, like, be... like an eye catch. No, it wasn't like a popular one. I don't remember what it was called, but one of the characters you come across at the very beginning of the game is like this, like, it's like a woman who's like absurdly thin, which is one of the biggest things I've noticed about it. Like, it was like uncomfortably thin to look at, but like it wasn't intended for that, obviously. Like, it was like it was like very unintentionally that, but that wasn't the thing. Is that they modeled her specifically in like a skin-tight bodysuit, and like her nipples are poking through like the like they're like, you know, very visibly poking through the suit. And it's a VR game, and the game is not very good, and it's very clearly that was designed specifically to like catch your attention in like the trailers and stuff. And like, it's so absurd, like the amount of detail they put into this one aspect of it, and you can't ignore it. Like, it's just too much, like, in your face, because you have to speak to her a lot. And like, why would you bother modeling that? And like, she's like so absurdly thin, but her breasts were like way too big for her her body size. And her head was, like, really tiny, too. And, like, just the proportions are all weird and wrong. And I can't help but feel like, when playing the game, that character was literally put in only to, like, I guess, like, make horny people rate the game higher? I don't know. Because, like, it wasn't a good game. It wasn't fun. The mechanics were bad. And, like, it was really janky and laggy. And it had, like, there was no reason for them to be in a skin-tight bodysuit in a zombie survival game. You still gave it a 5-star rating? No, I didn't rate it. I just uninstalled it and never played it again. After like 30, 45 minutes, something like that. I just didn't like it. It was like, I mean, like, it was just a really weird design choice that was clearly done with intention, you know? Like, not to say that, like, you know, nipples are, like, a bad thing. And, like, to say that it's, like, not normal for them to, like, be poking through, like, clothing or whatever. But with the, like, very intentional design choice in a video game where that a level of realism is unnecessary. It just felt weird to have it in the game. Like, it just didn't add anything. It wasn't like, it didn't make any sense in the context. Like it wasn't like she was cold. Like, I get, like, I mean, I don't have a problem with, like, realism in video games, and I guess realistically, maybe that was a thing that was happening anyway. Maybe their nipples were poking through their shirt because it was, like, chilly that day. But as like, somebody who's, like, developing a game, you'd have to make that intentional choice to create a character that looks like that, you know? That's all I'm saying. It's a zombie survival game, and it just felt like an unnecessary addition that detracted from the game's focus as a zombie survival. Because it just kind of made me like, well, why is that? And what? It just kind of made me, like, uncomfortable because I knew that it was, like, created specifically, you know, sorry to use some woke words here. It was very clearly specifically designed to entice the male gaze. And I'm like, I don't understand what the purpose of this was, other than specifically to make horny people like the game more. Like, there was literally no point, and it made me annoyed. It was very objectifying, is what I'm saying. There needs to be some motivation to survive. I mean, I guess the motivation is that you just don't die. Like, Again, she was an important character, but there was no purpose for that. But it was like one of the first people you talk to in the game, and it's really like a blind sight out of nowhere, because you just like fight a bunch of zombies in like a dark room, and then you walk into another room and she's just there. Like, I don't know. Like, if it wasn't before the start, like, I would accuse it of being an AI game if it wasn't such a long time ago. Like, it feels exactly like it was made like in AI, like with AI. Like how every AI image has like just a bunch of like uncharacteristically large like breasts in it, and it's like unrelated to the image itself, you know? More weird bat nipples. Yeah, like that, yeah. Like, I mean, like, I guess it's like Batman's nipples from the Tim Burton one, I think, right? It's just like, they're just like very much like firm and poking through the suit, and like well rendered and weird and nonsensical. And in like large breasts existed before AI. Yeah, but I know, but like every AI model is trained on the same like set of images, right? And every image you generate, no matter what it's about, will always have like the gigantic breasts that are like way like higher like render quality than any other parts of the image. All right, well that's not the point I'm making. You're probably right, but that's not what I'm talking about. Anyway, with the Batman, it was like funny. You know, the nipples were like weird and kind of funny and charming. In this video game, it was very clearly like icky, you know? It's just what people want. It's just people prompt for because they want it. I don't know. I don't think they. I think they probably don't a lot of the time. I think if I had to guess, a lot of the time they'll like prompt like, oh, like family eating dinner and political statements included with text, and it'll just be like generic trad family, but the wife has like giant bazongas just hanging out like while she's like washing the fucking dishes or some shit. Sorry, I'm getting annoyed. Anyway, how often do people get commissioned to draw small breasts? Not often. Not from me. But, you know, I'm sure it'll... If I drew them more often, I'd probably get more commissions for them. People tend to commission you for what you're good at, right? So they usually will see your art, then commission you for similar art. So if I drew more of them, I'd probably get more commissions with them. But also, it's fine. I don't care. I'll draw whatever, provided it's legal. And also morally sound. I guess that changes person to person, but you know. You wouldn't draw a bank robbery? Absolutely not. Not for any funny reason, just that would be a lot of effort. To draw a full scene with a bank and like guns, all like very inorganic objects. No thank you. Way too easy to tell if I mess up the perspective. Would you be interested in making non-human anthropomorphic art too? most of what I do is furry art. Now, I didn't used to, but once I started it, I opened the floodgates, and now it's basically all I get commissioned for now. Don't want to work for us. I mean, sometimes I will open commission occasionally on stream. I've mentioned it a couple of times. I've only been taken up on it one time. It was a fun drawing. But if I do it on stream, if I like use my Crimson Moon account, it'll have to be safe for work. And it'll also be probably done with my left hand to make it so it's harder to identify my art style on my actual account, because I don't want to be associated with it. But if you want some safe for work art, then, you know, I might be willing if you just send me like a DM or something. Depending on like the complexity and amount of time it would take me to do it. Because I am also working like every day already, so I'd have to, if I was to take on more commissions, I would have to, you know, slot it in there somewhere. Oh, I wanted to check the shop, didn't I? Also, I need to send more AIs to do work for me. Is there any more, like, plowing contracts? Yeah. If you ever start streaming, you'll hire me for emotes. Sure, that's fine. I don't mind doing emotes for people. Nobody's ever asked, but I wouldn't mind. Actually, that's not true. Patat asked once, but I think my price quote was too high. Oh no, it wasn't an emote. It was too high because it was like an animation for a starting soon screen or something. An emote wouldn't cost that much, but a full animation would cost a lot more. No discounts for friends. just pay me, please. Don't surprise Krimichu face at me. I need the money. No discounts. Is it common to haggle with starting price among digital artists? I mean, it depends. It's not like a starting price, I don't know. Like, not really, but if, like, for instance, if somebody wants, like, I don't know, like a fully rendered, full-body scene, it's gonna cost a lot, you know? But, like, if you want two, I suppose I could reduce the price by, like, 20% or something, because then you'd have two of the commissions coming in at the same time. You can haggle it down, like, oh, maybe I don't want full body, I want, like, 3/4, so it's, like, knees up. Maybe, like, make the pose a little less complex, would lower the price, that kind of thing. Like, it's nothing... It's like it's all sort of I don't want lyrics in my music. It got really distracting suddenly. It's all sort of kind of negotiable for the most part, I guess. It just matters like what specifically people want. They want animation, it's gonna cost like double. Like it just is what it is. Animation takes a long time. Even like subtle animations will cost a bit more. If it's like 2 frames, it won't cost double. If it's 20 frames, it'll cost like triple. Like, you know, it's a tough one. I don't have my exact price estimates, but, you know, it's a big deal. Haggling's poor form. Most artists are already working below minimum wage. Exactly. Yeah, that's basically it, too. Like, I'm definitely not making minimum wage. But, like, a lot of artists will have, like, commission sheets, which are like, you know, pay me this much for art. Some of them will say price is negotiable, some will say non-negotiable. It depends on the artist. Mine are usually negotiable to an extent, but very little. The problem with saying that they're negotiable is that people will try to get you, like, below half price. And it's like, at that point, I'll just block you. Like, that's absurd. Come on. Like, absolutely not. Like, I'm desperate, but I'm not so desperate that I'm willing to put in, you know, 10 hours of work for, you know, like 30 hours pay. Other way around, sorry. Like, other way around. I would definitely put in 10 hours of work for 30 hours pay. No. But yeah, no, it's yeah. So yeah, basically, haggling's kind of bad form, like Dragon says. Prices are usually set in stone. I don't use a commission sheet a lot of the times, just because people will ask for specific things. Nude is usually more expensive than clothing, just because people want nude more often. But like the amounts of clothing vary with price as well. Like, yeah, like I'm not gonna say that, you know, full suit of armor is cheaper than a nude drawing. Like, if I have to draw a full suit of armor, it's gonna cost more than a nude drawing. But if I have to draw, like, you know, shorts and a shirt or something, you know, or like bra and panties or just boxers, stuff like that, those are like cheaper. Like, I don't care. No enjoying the stream. No. What an odd bot. Just say the price of scales with complexity. I mean, that's just it. Exactly that. But that's not always the case. Prices don't always scale with complexity, because a nude model, like a nude character, is way easier to draw than a character with clothes, because I don't have to take into account like clothing folds and like proportions hidden by the clothing, stuff like that, you know? But people want nude characters a lot, so you charge more for that, even though it's less work. Cultivating. I wish you had the bigger cultivators. What was the... I want this. I'm gonna have to use this thing often, so... I'll just buy it. But no, like, haggling isn't like... It depends on the artist. I don't mind haggling occasionally if it's like a particularly expensive piece. But if it's like pretty generic or like pretty like straightforward, then I don't haggle. But also, I'm also not making very much money anymore, because AI is just easier for people. Like I said multiple times, you might not get exactly what you want, but you can get thousands of images in the amount of time it'd take me to make one. And one of those thousands of images might be pretty close to what you want. It might be close enough, you know? So, I've been losing a lot of business to AI purely just because it's pretty easy to get close enough to what you want. It's, ignoring the environmental and, well, and the plethora of negative effects AI has. Some people will just opt to do that instead, which I hate, but it is what it is. Like, I mean, people who like it don't care. Yeah. There are also less artists that do not safe for work, so just supply and demand. I mean, there's that too. The thing is, not safe for work artists aren't in, like, scarcity, but there's like a huge crackdown, especially recently, on some perceived, like, disgusting behavior online. Like, it's a lot of, like, I don't even know what the good comparison is. There's a lot of, like, oh, this is bad because it's, like, nudity online. A lot of prudish behavior going on. Puritanical moralism. Exactly, yeah. There's a lot of that going on, especially right now for... I mean, who knows why? But it's always been the case. It's just a bit worse right now than it has been in a long time. So, being a not safe for work artist is getting more difficult because we keep losing places we are allowed to take money from. Like, a lot of websites require you to censor your art now that didn't previously. Some payment providers were... I think they've struck down their ability to do this, but at one point they were preventing you from, like, taking money for not safe for work. But, like, Patreon doesn't allow not safe for work. I think some of it is allowed, but not all of it. Not very much. I think PayPal, you're not allowed to take not safe for work commissions, technically. People still do, but you're not supposed to. Like, there's a lot. There's a lot of them. It's not worth going into, but there's a lot of them. It's a pain. Anyway, that's all I'm saying. OnlyFans tried to ban not safe for work briefly. Well, yeah, and that went incredibly bad for them immediately, considering that was basically all it was used for. The thing is, they wanted OnlyFans to be for, like, celebrities to meet with fans, or, like, to have, like, discussions and, like, stuff with fans. But nobody used it for that. They were going the way of Tumblr, right? Where one of the biggest things that Tumblr was that it was, like, a not safe for work platform where people would have a safe place to upload, like, not safe for work art of their favorite characters and fictions. But then they banned not safe for work, and it lost, like 50-60% of its, like, user base. Asking about ways to make peace simpler would be fine, and that would be cheaper? Yeah. Oh, making peace simpler that would be cheaper is fine. Yeah. Asking if bundling multiple commissions makes it a better deal. Exactly. Yeah, that's exactly it. Like, if somebody orders multiple commissions from me at once, I will be happy to give them a discount. It won't be huge, because it's still a lot of work, but, more than one at a time is usually cheaper. But again, you also have to be like, you usually don't want to make your first commission a bundle, because you don't know if you like work, or like the work done, or if it's, like, done in a timely manner, that kind of thing. Make sure you, like, have an established rapport with the person you're trying to commission before you do a bundle. And also, you just might not like the art style. Like, that's a big thing. Like, some commissioner, like, some artists don't, and this is, like, very common and makes perfect sense, don't put a lot of effort into their commissions, or not as much effort as they put into, like, their personal projects, but they will oftentimes put their personal projects up as advertisement of their portfolio. So you'll get, like, a much lower fidelity drawing than their personal projects. I don't do that. I don't do personal projects. I'm not a creative person. I can't fix that. That's like one little line back there that's making me annoyed. I don't do personal projects. So whatever, if somebody sees my art, it'll be a commission I drew for somebody else. But a lot of artists will just make like a huge amount of effort for a personal project and then put it up on their portfolio. And then when they do commissions, they do like half the effort, and people get really grumpy. That's a very common thing that you got to be aware of that happens. It doesn't mean that they're like not putting in effort for your drawing. It just means that they don't. It's a job versus a passion, you know. Tumblr still exists and there's cool stuff on there, but it's a fraction of a fraction of the original communities. Exactly, yeah. It's saddening. Yeah, I mean, like, people that are still on there are still passionate about using Tumblr, because it was a great place for the things people used it for. Even the stuff that wasn't not safe for work is still, you know, was very popular. But they just like sort of stuck to their guns with a really unpopular decision, and it made people unhappy. And people just left. Even people who didn't do not safe for work stuff still left just because it was clearly like an unpopular decision, and they just kept going through with it. Exists in the same way MySpace exists. I mean, MySpace is still used by like old people and bots. Facebook is a lot more like common now, especially, but you know, people still are on MySpace. I just never put effort in anything. I mean, that's not entirely true, but basically. Like, well, that's not true at all. With my art, I put in a pretty fair amount of effort, but that's why I don't put effort in anywhere else. In your opinion, they shouldn't be advertising with the thing they're not going to do for you? It's like deceptive trailers. I mean, I agree, but also it gets business. People need money, and lying makes money. I don't agree with it, I don't like it, and I'm not going to do it, but I understand. I figured you're joking. People don't people don't usually say mean things when they're not joking. And if they do, I wouldn't talk to them. But no, I understood. Anyway, so the point is, yeah, if you want to commission somebody, it's important to like look at their stuff, look at their previous commissions they finished. Don't look at their like passion projects. You know, if you want to get cheaper art done than they're offering, you can haggle, but a lot of times that will just get you banned outright, because a lot of times they'll put in their terms of service non-negotiable. Always look for that non-negotiable clause, or whatever you want to call it. Maybe clause is the wrong word, but section. It's just, you know, and also a lot of big commission artists are always busy. They have like dozens of commissions on hold that they're working on at the same time. Sometimes it's too overwhelming and they give up, and then you just don't get your commission for like years. Be very careful with popular ones, because a lot of times they have a backlog of like 50 people, and it'll take like a year to get your commission. And of course, the big popular ones are going to charge a lot more because they have a brand. The smaller ones, like me, don't charge nearly as much, even though our art is comparable in quality. Just because we don't have as big a following. I mean, I guess I'm not like a small artist, I guess. I make enough to live off of, barely. But I'm certainly not, like, big. But, you know, it is what it is. Yes, to return to big artist tall. Yeah. To return to the original question, yes, I occasionally will do non-human anthro. That is not an uncommon request. Unless you're specifically referring to what is in the furry community referred to as feral, in which case I do not do that. Unless it's safe for work, in which case I might. Depending on how complicated it is. But yeah, so if you wanna commission me, feel free to send me a message on probably Twitch, because I don't use Twitter. I use Blue Sky, but I only really use it for browsing. You can send me a message on Blue Sky too, I guess. But I might just say no. That's a big one. It'll also be with my left hand, and it'll be cheaper. It'll take a long time. Well, it might not take that long, but it'll be with my left hand. So it won't be, like, as good a quality as it could be. Just because I don't want my other account discovered. But you're welcome to inquire. I thought I folded that up. I'm more than happy to answer questions about it. There's also a business email for inquiries and themselves. Yeah, exactly. There's also a business email that you're welcome to use to send me inquiries as well. Those will occasionally get filtered to spam, and I will forget to check them. So if you do send something to my business email and I don't respond, feel free to message me elsewhere to see if I received it. Run, dear, run! Get out of the road! I tend to forget to mention the business email because I'm currently on Twitch, you know? Not. I haven't taken commissions through that email for a while. Because I use a different email for my other account. So I just forget to mention that email sometimes. Alright. Anything else I can do before I end my stream at 3 hours because I'm tired? I was less tired today than I have been. But I'm still tired. I don't really want to do cultivation. Could do spraying or weeding. These spraying ones aren't very pricey. Oh, I should probably spray my garden, my fertilizer. That's herbicide. I don't want herbicide. Glad I'm less tired and also resting. Yeah, I mean, I wish I could work more, but a lot's been going on, and I just don't have the strength of will at the moment. I need to buy fertilizer. Where is fertilizer? What's the difference? Brand loyalty. I don't have any money. I can't buy fertilizer. I don't have any money. I don't know if this will be enough for the fields, but I'll try it. We rolled them down, so all we need to do is fertilize, I think. I'll check, though, just to be sure before I start. Yeah. This thing's crazy big, I forget. Turn the right way. Finding motivation can be really hard. Yeah. Yeah, I'm a little less tired and I am resting more, but I don't know it's good as much as just sort of necessary. But yes, your emote is coming, Bert. Don't worry. I just have to do it. I also have to figure out which emote to replace. The replacement's the hard part. Because I only have a few slots, because I don't have enough subscribers. So I don't have very many emote slots. I knew it right there. I missed a little tiny bit right at the start. I knew it. By the way, my vehicle like kind of like jerked over to the side slightly when I was trying to position it. It was enough to do one field, but I don't think it'll be enough to do another one. And my worker hasn't finished their work, so... Don't worry, well, it'll get done. Emotes are easy, just because they're small. I can fudge detail and stuff a lot. But until I decide which emote to, like, be rid of, I was kind of just putting it off. I guess the animated Geef one can go. I like it, but it's probably the only one that's, like, not super relevant to the channel. You know? No! Alright, fine. I'll leave that one because people like it, I guess. Pick an emote to execute, then. Am I doing an animated one, or do you... the giggling one was going to be animated, but I can make it not animated. Now I'm out of fertilizer. The least used ones would be... I don't know what that first one is. I've never seen it before. Execute Boogie, in your opinion? Aw, alright. I mean, that one, I guess, is the worst animated emote I have, by a long way. And I'll never get rid of, like, Crim Pride. And also, the Fever Dream is fun. I like the Fever Dream one. Even though it's not used very often, I like it a lot. So, I'll get rid of Crim Boogie. Also Lurk, yeah. Or, Peek. I do like Peek. I like that one a lot. But yeah, you're right. That one's never used. that one never gets used. It's just being put on ice still has more room. That's true. I also want to make Boogie better. Like, again, it's not very well done. It could be a lot better looking. It's like very stilted. Comparatively. Okay, the employee's almost done, so I might just park up and wait. And then just like do some forklifting while I'm waiting for the job to finish. Yeah, like as I get more subscribers, inevitably I'm gonna get more, just by way of streaming. Yeah, if I ever gain any more followers. I've been stuck around like 530 or whatever it is for months. But I almost hit 540. Anyway, just by way of like existing as a streamer, you get more followers, and by association more subscribers. And as I get more subscribers, I'll get more emote slots to make silly emotes with. It was one of the most fun things I had done with the channel. I really liked making the emotes, but I just have no more emotes to make. I'd have to replace ones, and I like all the ones. I could get rid of my food, even though I like it. I like the mango, but I could get rid of it. I like the broccoli, but I could get rid of it. Those are always options as well if I want to add more emotes. You've never seen Task Apple actually being used? It's been used a fair amount, actually, but yeah, it hasn't been used in a while. That one makes me giggle every time I see it, though. That's like a personal emote I really like, you know? That one I personally find really funny. Get off my pallet, fork! Why is this not getting off my fork? What the hell's happening here? It's like bugged, like stuck on for some reason. Is it because of this? No, it's just like stuck on the fork. Oh, now it's not stuck on. I see how it is. Maybe it was that little strip. The bread is your standard greeting to a French streamer you sometimes watch. That's nice. I wouldn't get rid of that one anyway. I like that one a lot. Like, out of all the food ones I would get rid of, broccoli would be the first. Because as much as I like broccoli, I know that that one's, like, not my best emote. Mango is a really nice one that looks pretty and is good. I'd probably leave that one. And the croissant, the bread, is also, like, well done enough that I think it's, like, a good one. You love broccoli, though. It's so silly to have a broccoli emote. I also like it, but out of all the emotes I could get rid of, like, if you gotta pick and choose, the broccoli is, like, probably one of the ones I would get rid of first, just because it isn't really used much. And I guess, realistically, I could get rid of Shotgun Tim as well. Not, well, you know, like, put it away and, like, until later, of course. Because Shotgun Tim is a very situational one. It's, you know, reminiscent and, you know, referential, and I like it, but it isn't used very often. It's very situational. I have to find a shotgun in a game for it to be used. It's already gone? Oh no! When did I get rid of Shotgun Tim? When did that happen? I don't remember getting rid of that one. Oh, Tim! A very long time ago. Oh no. I must have replaced it with the lick, I think, or something like that. I could get rid of the licky one, but that one like is really well made, I think. Like I'd put a lot of effort into that tongue. That's why it isn't used, because I got rid of it? I see. Well, I probably got rid of it because it wasn't used, because it is very situational. It was a difficult one to use. Yeah, the downside to emotes is you can't make them too, like, niche, or they just won't ever get used. No matter how, like, well, like, how fun they are. Okay, let's go ahead and finish up the stream now that my worker's done. I just needed enough money that I could buy fertilizer. Put a lot of effort into the tongue. I mean, it's true. I did put a lot of effort into the tongue. Like, the full-size image of that is, like, pretty detailed. Now, you can probably see it in the actual, like, emote, but... I think the non-animated GIF is a bit redundant. Don't know when you would use it over the animated one. I mean, that's true, but that was just for the people who didn't have sub. Actually, might even be. Is it not? Is it a sub emote? It was meant to not be a sub emote, but I might have left it as a sub emote accidentally. It was meant to be a follower emote. Oh well. But yeah, no, I might get rid of the GIF just because the animated GIF is just significantly better. And if it's a sub emote that I accidentally, it is a follower emote. Okay, yeah. On the occasions when you are subbed, you do use the GIF and then the shaking GIF in escalation. Yeah, see, that's the point. That's kind of what it's for. But it's fine. I can get rid of it. Let me see if I can't find the tongue emote in like full quality. Before I shrunk it. I probably won't be able to find it before I shrunk it. Where's my stream asset folder? There you are. That's a PNG. How dare you be a PNG? Who do you think you are? Did I say you could be a PNG? Like, I feel like that one's like pretty obvious. Like, you can see the detail in that one even without actually like clicking on it, you know? Ooh, that's something I need to make sure doesn't show up on stream. That's something I was working on earlier. That is absolutely not okay to show on stream. Hopefully it's not showing. Otherwise, I'm banned. I can't see my stream window, so I'm just assuming it's not. See, I always have a hard time finding my stream assets folder because it's not under my work folder. It's just like in the same like base folder as my other drawings. Because I have like work, I have practice, I have stream assets, whatever. But I keep expecting stream assets to be under the work folder. And so I always look there and it's never there and I'm always confused. That one's not it. Damn it, how dare you? How dare you, me? That's the one. Okay. I'm going to briefly switch screens, and God, I hope it doesn't pop up the wrong thing. There you go, okay. But yeah, so this one in like full quality is like very funny to me. I don't know how full quality is on stream, but it's just like it's just like such a silly emote that has so many like it's such, like it's like this is like the condensed version, but I can't like put it on stream because it's just too big. It would take too long to export. But like it's just so funny. It's such a funny one. Like it's a little bit janky up close, but it's like I just really like the amount of effort I put into like this part specifically right here. Like the actual like impact of like the tongue on like the side of the screen. Like it like squishes and then drags. And I like that a lot. At one point I did have it like spitting up like, I think it might still be there. It's like splashing liquid, yeah. You can see the splashing liquid here. It was at one point a different color, but I decided blue was better. I don't know if it does it on the bottom. It should do. Yeah, there it is. Anyway, I like that emote. I think it's fun. There's water on the moon. Well, there's saliva. Did I just shift my screen? I did. Okay, close that, because that's inappropriate and will get me banned. I don't want to risk accidentally sharing that screen. Like, there's genuinely no misinterpreting that one either. Like, that image that would get me banned is very clearly a gigantic penis. Like, it's impossible to, like, not get banned for that one. It's just, like, in my... Because it was the last thing I worked on, so it's, like, zoomed in, too. Because it's, like, it's showing, like, a screenshot of the last thing you worked on. And so I was like detailing it, and I was like, oh, I gotta start streaming, so I'll just close that. You know? So it's just like zoomed straight in on it. Anyway, what was I doing? Oh, I was gonna, yeah, fertilize. That's what I was doing. I need to buy fertilizer. Doesn't really matter which one, I guess. It's fine. Like, you know, I'm not... I'm making a little bit of money from stream, but, you know, aside from it being just a hobby, it's okay if I get banned. It'll only be like a 2-day ban anyway, you know? They don't actually enforce their rules. Cost me so much money to buy that fertilizer for like one little tiny strip of this field. I wonder if it's against the rules to talk about what I do. I don't imagine so. But it is, a lot of it is explicit, and I'm not under the adults only category. I'm not showing anything on stream, so it's probably okay. But there is like a mature content thing you have to click if you expect to have mature content on stream. And I don't think I have it turned on. Because 99% of the stream isn't mature content. occasionally I'll mention work, or I'll swear. Like, but that's it. How did that happen? How the hell did that happen? How are you stuck, man? What is this? Why are these trackers so bad at getting, like, they're very clearly not realistic. There's no way this tracker is stuck. There you go, okay. You'd guess it was okay, but you don't know either. Yeah, exactly. Like, it's just sort of a, like, what is the limit of what I am on, and am not allowed to talk about? Because, I mean, like, PG-13 is, like, an age rating for 13-year-olds, and, well, with parental guidance, that frequently have, like, sex scenes in them. Like, that's probably fine, right? Like, me talking about my job is probably okay. I mean, I'm not like graphically describing anything that's happening in this thing, so it's probably not like that big a deal. Okay, I don't think I have any rented equipment. Not anymore. It's probably safe to just end the stream here and come back in the midday, because like the fields are planted and fertilized and rolled. Ugh. So it's probably okay to just leave it how it is. I think in December, I need to trade all my other plants away. I don't remember which one is prices. In December is barley if I wanted to sell barley. And January is all the other crops. You've also never heard of anybody being banned for anything audio related except for copyright things? Yeah, I mean it's finicky because I don't know, because it might technically be against terms of service, but I'm not sure to what extent it's enforced. You know, is it a warning system or is it a ban? I don't know. But it doesn't happen often enough, I feel, to bother concerning myself with it. Anyway, I'm gonna head off. So thanks for hanging out. Thanks for chatting, lurking, all that. I appreciate it. I will be back tomorrow playing Remnant. I think I'll probably beat it tomorrow. If that's the case, I'll probably play. If I beat the game within like the first hour, I'll play Monument Valley. If it's like 2 hours in or an hour and a half in when I beat it, then I'll probably just end stream. Then play Trash Goblin as my palate cleanser. Remnant has an end? Yeah, it's a story game. There's been a story the whole time. I just been futzing around in like the world generations to just keep run the dungeons over and over again. But I went to where I expect the final bit of the game is. We're meant to be like confronting Clawbone in his own world right now, and I presume it'll be like another hour or two in the world, because all the worlds take like a couple of hours, and then you just do like the other bits. So I imagine it'll take a couple of hours, and then I've already been in there for like an hour. I imagine it'll be like 2 more hours at most before I like get to the end of the game. Depending on how hard I assume the final boss fight will be. And maybe there'll be more after that, but I'm not sure. But yeah, Remnant 2 should be done next stream. Most likely. If I finish it early, I'll do Monument Valley. If I don't, then I won't. Is basically all it is. But we'll see. Anyway, I'm out of here. Take care. Have a good rest of your day, night, afternoon, evening. What time it is for you. Bye.